Hi everyone, my name is Sue, and I wanted to share with you my weight loss journey. I am also known as Scrap Lady 530. I have another YouTube channel where I do crafty things and silly things like that. But this is my weight loss journey, and a lot of my subscribers for Scrap Lady Sue have been following me um, on the beginning of my journey. So I figured I would make a separate channel and just talk specifically about my weight loss. Um, I am going to have the vertical gastric sleeve, vertical sleeve gastrectomy, whatever you want to call it. Vertical sleeve gastrectomy, yeah. VSG. I'm not sure what date I'm having it. Right now I'm in limbo, but let me just tell you a little bit about myself first. Um, I am 53 years old, and um, I have been overweight, um, extremely overweight for the past maybe 20, 25 years or more. Um, 25 years, let's say, or so. And prior to that, growing up, I was chunky. Um, I did have a point in my life just before my first marriage where I weighed probably around 130 pounds. Um, and um, then I had my first child I got married for the first time in 1985, so I weighed around 125, 130 pounds then. Had my first child in 1988, and I had put on a significant amount of weight, probably around 60 or more pounds for that pregnancy. And immediately after, I was pregnant again. My girls are a year and 5 days apart. So I put on even more weight for the second one. Had the second one, well, just coming up on 26 and 27 years. My goodness. My oldest will be 27 on March 5th, and my youngest will be 26 on March 10th. So, anyways, so it was after, my pregnancies that I had um, started to gain more and more weight, and I was never happy. I never knew why, and I never showed it either. No one would ever know it. Um, and I used food to basically try to keep me happy. And so my first marriage ended up in divorce well, my ex-husband is gay, and so it wasn't, it was a lifestyle, and we're great friends. We've been divorced since 2000. Well, we were split up in 2001, so it's been a while. And I met my current husband right after 9/11, and we got married in January of 2003. And I had put on more weight after I met him. Um, a lot of it was because of stress issues. He had kids, I have kids, and the kids were my girls were 12 and 13 when they found out their dad was gay. And I mean, he's a wonderful person, a wonderful father. He still is. And so, but it was not an easy thing. And then I met someone new who had a totally different personality, and the whole blended family thing was very, very difficult for us. So, anyways, we got through it. And our kids are all grown and out of the house for the most part. My daughter and her boyfriend are currently living with us because their um, apartment burned down. Yeah, there's been a lot of things that have happened in my life that have caused stress. Um, And so I eat when I'm stressed. I'm a stress eater. So I, my husband was diagnosed with cancer in 2010, and he's doing very well, fortunately. And so I was having a lot of pain issues. I've had pain issues for many, 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 many years. And I had injured my knee probably in 2008 or 2009, maybe 2009. I injured my knee, tore my meniscus, had the whole um, um, arthroscopic surgery done, and it made things worse. So finally in 2011, I had my right total knee replaced, my right knee right total knee replacement. And I had a hard time finding a surgeon who would do the surgery on me because of my weight. And then I did find one, and I needed it done because I was bone on bone and I was in so much pain. I also have really bad arthritis. That's a big issue, is when they when they did the arthroscopy, they realized how much arthritis was there, and then the meniscus was torn and there was no more barrier. And so at the time, the left knee was really good. And so, I was going to lose all this weight after I had my knee replaced because my pain was going to be better, and I was totally wrong. My pain was a little bit better, but then I started having pain in other areas, in my back and in my sacroiliac joint. I have shots every 3 months I get in my sacroiliac joint because I have severe arthritis. And so back in August of last year, end of August or sometime in August, I started having left knee pain. And so I got an injection of Symbisk, and I had a very bad reaction to that. And my knee swelled up, my whole leg swelled up. It was really bad, and it was so painful, so painful. I couldn't walk. So they did the MRI and found out no more cartilage in that knee. Very frustrating for me to find that out. And my doctor that I have, my orthopedic doctor, which is a different doctor now, and she's wonderful, she basically said, nothing I can do for you until you lose weight. We're not doing any surgery on you until you lose a significant amount of weight. It's just not going to happen. And she said it didn't do your other knee really much good, and it's not going to do this knee any better. And I was devastated to think that I was 53 years old and having to have both knees, have both knees replaced. And I went through all the emotions when I got the information, and I was angry, very angry. And then I just really realized, you know what? I'm done. Done with the pain. That's it. I'm going to get serious about this, and I am going to lose weight. I'm going to have whatever surgery that it takes to lose weight. At the time, I was thinking gastric bypass. I've kind of been back and forth between the sleeve and the bypass, but I'm definitely having the sleeve. And so I called there's a program here locally, and so I called to find out what I needed to do, and there was an introductory meeting. I went to that in September. At that point, I weighed in at 305 pounds. I'm 5'3". Yeah, that's really bad. That wasn't my highest weight, though. I looked back in my records, and I can see in my chart, online, my medical record for my doctor's office, that in 2008 I weighed 327 pounds. And yeah, even when I saw that on the scale, that didn't trigger. I did lose, from 2008 till 2015. I lost maybe 10 pounds. So in July of 2014, I was 317 pounds. And then by September, I was 305 pounds, so I had lost some. And I decided that I needed to do something because I could no longer live with the pain that I was in. It takes over your whole life. I had to stop working for that reason and for other reasons to, take care of my husband at the time and then my mother. So that's another whole story. So, I had to stop working because there was too much going on and I was in too much pain. So I'm on Social Security disability, and because I can't work because of my pain issues and whatnot. And so, anyways, I had decided in September that was it. I was done. I was going to do this. I was going to do whatever it took. And I was going to go in head first and do the best that I could. So my husband, who is also overweight and has struggled many years, said, I'm with you. Whatever you do, I'm doing. I said, okay. So I went to the first meeting and they gave out some diet information, information on if you, the diet that you have to follow, 2 weeks prior to surgery. It's called the stage 2 diet. And then the diet that you will follow for 4 to 6 weeks after surgery, depending on how you progress. But then they had a modified stage 2 diet, and that was, the stage 2 diet is basically clear liquids. Well, it's liquids, not clear liquids, but liquids and things like that. Puddings, and you could have puddings and things like that. But no, like for breakfast, you would have cream of wheat or cream of rice. For lunch, you would have a quarter of a cup of any kind of cream soup strained, made with a quarter of a cup of skim milk and scoop of protein powder. And so we got the protein powder. We finally ordered some plain protein powder because you can't put a flavored protein powder in your soup, trust me. I followed that in the beginning, and then we started, we were losing weight. We were doing really well. And we started adding more vegetables and things like that. And supper was like 3 ounces of meat, like chicken or fish, basically. And so I stopped eating potatoes, pastas, rices, breads, everything. I stopped eating all of that stuff, just like that. I was done with it. Never looked back. We got rid of all that food in our house. That we gave it to my stepdaughter because she has 4 kids, one on the way. And so she could certainly use the food and whatnot. So we gave her a bunch of food. And so anyways, so I started with that diet and started losing weight. And I've lost 35 pounds, a strong 35 pounds. Some days I'm like 37, 38 pounds, but not consistently. So, but 35 pounds I've lost since September. So I've done really well. And I've been through all of the thought processes. Well, I'm doing so well. Maybe I don't need to do this. But I know me, and, it took me a little bit to mull things over because I had so many things going through my head and say, no, you need this weight loss surgery because it's a tool. It's all it is a tool. That's not a guarantee that you're going to lose the weight. I feel that I have made some huge changes since September, huge changes in my eating habits. I mean, my husband and I, we eat a quarter of what we used to eat, and we eat healthier. Our newest thing is taking cauliflower and mashing it for mashed potatoes, but you gotta add a lot of spices to it because it doesn't taste good if you don't add a lot of spices. And you don't really need, you can add just a little tiny bit of butter and it's fine, but you just gotta add the garlic powder, the onion powder, whatever else you like to add, salt and pepper and things like that. That's our new favorite thing. We actually had what people call shepherd's pie with, it was orange. It was called Fiesta cauliflower, but it was orange cauliflower. So we had that as the, top, and then the corn, and then the turkey, ground turkey, and it was really good. So it was like really comfort food, but it wasn't all the carbs in the potatoes. So, I mean, there was carbs in the corn, but that's okay. So, but our portions are, much, much smaller. I mean, I made a casserole dish of the shepherd's pie, and that lasted us 4 meals for the 2 of us. So, a lot different than what we used to do. And so I've made significant changes because I know that this is for the rest of my life. And I knew that if I didn't start right away making those changes, not 2 weeks before surgery, not a month before surgery, this has been since September. And now I'm used to eating a lot less food, and being satisfied, and only cooking small portions of things. When my daughter moved in, because her apartment burned, her and her boyfriend moved in, my first thing was, I'm not cooking for you. Because we're in our routine, we know what we need to eat. We pre-cook a lot of things. I'll cook a whole bunch of chicken, and I'll cut it up and put it in small containers, so we know that one container is what our portion is, and things like that. And so which works out fine because they love to cook anyway, so we just kind of alternate when we're cooking, which, okay, which isn't a problem at all. Sorry about that. The whole yawning thing is not good. So anyways, so I'm very, very happy with my progress thus far. So back to the program that I went to. So they say, 4 months, and then you have, after you finish the 4 months, the 1 introductory and the 3 follow-up meetings, and each meeting was 2 hours long, and they were about different things. People would come in that had had the surgery, that had had success and lost a lot of weight, or whatever they lost a year or so later, come in and talk to us. And the surgeon talked to us every time, because the meetings rotate, so it's different people sometimes that are coming into the meeting depending on when you attend the introductory meeting. And but I learned a lot from it, and for me, knowing that it's a lifestyle change, I couldn't wait till a month or 2 weeks before surgery and start the lifestyle change. I needed to get a hold of that overeating and things like that, and not eating junk. I had to get a hold of that and really feel comfortable with that. So for me, the whole 4-month process was very helpful, and it was necessary for me, because now I feel that after surgery, I'm already used to eating very little. And obviously I won't be able to eat much after surgery, immediately after surgery. But as time goes on, I don't feel I'll be as tempted to eat those things because I haven't had them for so long. And I'm not craving them, the bad things, the ice cream and all that stuff. And so anyways, I feel that this has been, really good. So we were told, after the meeting, then they review you have to fill out these papers and stuff, and, they have access to the records. And so they were going to review, and then you make your appointments, and you need 3 appointments. Well, they require 2 tests, a upper GI to see if you have hernias or anything, and then they also require an abdominal ultrasound to make sure that your liver size is good and whatnot, and things like that. And so you have to have that done, and then the 3 appointments, one with the nurse for a consultation, they each take about an hour, one with the nutritionist, and then one with the surgeon. And then he schedules your surgery after that. Well, I finished the program in December, and it's February. Second week in December, I finished my meetings, and I have been in contact with the person who runs the program, if not weekly, every other week. And, where am I at in this process? What, My pain is getting worse. I had a shot in my knee. The first shot worked. The second shot didn't really work. So I'm starting to have more pain. And I, really expressed in the beginning I needed to get this done. But they said, protocol, you have to follow the program. And, it was a good thing. So I'm getting really frustrated at this point. They said they needed a letter, either from a cardiologist or from my doctor, stating that I was cardiac, whatever you want to say it, cardiac cleared. I was cleared cardiac wise, whatever. And I said, okay, I've never had any cardiac issues. I have venous stasis in my knees, which is just poor circulation, and the weight has a lot to do with that. But I've never had a blood clot, never had a heart attack, never had any cardiac issues. I've had other surgery, never had any issues. So my doctor wrote a letter. Evidently, he didn't say what needed to be said. So I had to call them back, and they wrote another letter. And this letter says, I have it right here, part of this letter says, her risk for heart disease is moderate given her obesity, hypertension, which actually I don't have hypertension anymore because I have hypotension. If anything else, I cut back. She cut my medicine in half, and I was still having dizzy spells bending over, so I stopped taking it. And type 2 diabetes, which the numbers are getting better. I get my A1C done every 3 months. I don't check my blood sugars, and that's getting better. I'm so sorry. This is not a good first video. I'm really tired. So it says, okay, so moderate, her risk for heart disease is moderate given her obesity, hypertension, type 2 diabetes, but she has no cardiac symptoms and has no past history of heart attack or stroke and is not at high risk for heart disease. Perfect, right? They wanted to make sure. Not perfect. She said, it doesn't say anything in the letter that you're cleared cardiac-wise. Well, I don't understand. What more could you ask for? It says that I'm not at high risk for... No one is going to say, yeah, she's not going to have a heart attack during surgery because no one knows that. And I said, do you require this from everyone? Now I have to see a cardiologist. Do you require this from everyone that has this surgery? No. The doctor just looked at your records and felt that this is what you needed because you were short of breath after walking up a flight of stairs. I said, well, that information's pretty old because that's not what's happening. I mean, I can't leap up the stairs in leaps and bounds because I have knee issues. But I said I did have that issue. I was having more shortness of breath before my knee surgery in 2011, and they did a stress test and everything was fine. But I don't ever remember saying or having those issues since then. But the doctor insisted I needed to see a cardiologist. So the issue is that, first of all, I waited over a month to have her acknowledge that they looked at my records. Then acknowledge now that I need cardiac clearance, but it can be a letter from my doctor. I get him the letter. It's not the right letter. Okay, get him a second letter. She has the second letter the portion that I just read to you. That letter, she has it for a week. And I call her and I say, okay, let's get these appointments scheduled. And she says, well, I never got a letter. The last letter I have is February 11th. I said, that's the letter. Oh, well, this doesn't clear you cardiac-wise. It's like, so you need to go to the cardiac doctors. I said, okay, I'm not getting this. What else? Everyone who goes into surgery has a risk of having a heart attack. I'm just so frustrated beyond belief because it's been 6 months. I've lost more than the 10 pounds that they require you to lose. I have Medicare for insurance, and they don't have those kind of requirements, so that's fine. And I'm just stuck in limbo. And I'm so frustrated and so upset that it's like so frustrating. I said, can you at least schedule me for my consultation appointments in the meantime? Can you at least do that? No, because we don't know if you're going to be cleared, cardiac-wise. I said, I am going to be. I guarantee you I'm going to be, because I don't have any cardiac issues like my doctor says. So I went back and forth with her. I was just trying to be nice, but very frustrated. And, when you're in chronic pain, yeah, it just does a number on you, emotionally, physically, mentally, everything. It really does a number on you. So, sometimes I have a hard time. Not very often, but every once in a while I just get so aggravated. The pain is too much to handle, and I take it out on other people. And I may have been a little gruff with her, but I really feel that I'm being put off unnecessarily. So, anyways, that's where I am right now. I don't know if I said this, but I started 5'3". I think I did. It started. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so tired. But I just needed to get this video done because I've tried it like 5 times. And every time I try it, I get an interruption or something happens. So anyways, 5'3", started in September at 305, and I'm currently 270. So I'm very happy with that. So the one thing on my other channel, which is Scrap Lady 530, everybody sees me from here. A few people have seen me because I've gone and traveled and actually visited some of my YouTube friends. But I'm going to do what everybody else does. They quote full body shot, just because that's what everybody does, and it is good recording for me also. So that's why I just have this. I don't usually wear a tank top like this, and this is the reason why. Okay, this is the reason why. Now, this is much different because I've lost 35 pounds. So, I've noticed that, there's a lot of extra skin. It was, it wasn't this flabby. It was, fat, but it wasn't this shaky before, if that's what you want to say. And this arm looks, I don't know why it's like this, but anyways, that's the way I am, oddly shaped. Okay, and so I'm just going to stand back, and I will try to put my chair so that there we go. Push it over some. So, like I said, haven't done this, but I'm doing it because I hope you can see. I will do a side view. Now, I don't have a very big butt. I've been told that. I have a huge stomach, and this is embarrassing, but this is what it is, okay? And this is a big issue. I'm going to have this removed once I lose all the weight. So, again, this is me. And this is my biggest problem, is this pannus, what they call. Well, it's not my biggest problem, but it's one of my big problems. So, that's what yeah, that's not a pleasant thing to do for anyone that's overweight, but it's part of the whole process. And it will get better. I am very confident that I am going to succeed. I have no doubt that I am going to succeed in this surgery. My husband's been following with me the same diet, and he's lost 40 pounds. And so he's sleeping right now. We'll get him in a video. And if you go watch my Scrap Lady 530 videos, he does come in some videos, and you can see how much weight I just did a video the other day, and how much weight he's lost. And so that's the status where I am right now. I'm in limbo. I'm frustrated. I just wish that, this program was great and everything, but I wish they would be more upfront with people and say, you have these 4 months, the introductory and the 3 meetings, and then it's probably going to take maybe 3 or 4 months after that before you really have your surgery scheduled. Because now, they say it takes 4 to 6 weeks after you see the surgeon to actually have your surgical date. So, the reality of it is a minimum of 6 months, and I really wish that they would tell you that. And just because, I've been thinking, okay, it's going to be soon, and it's not going to be soon. I don't know when it's going to be, and I'm frustrated. I mean, I'm at a standstill. I haven't lost any weight. I've maintained my weight, haven't lost any weight, and have I been stress eating a tiny bit? But my stress eating is carrot sticks and hummus, or celery and hummus, a little bit of cheese, you know, nothing like before. I'm eating a little more than I had been in the beginning, but I'm going to refocus again. So that's basically where I'm at. I have been watching a lot of other videos, and I found them very helpful to listen to. I find it very interesting to listen to other people, what their pre-op requirements are and whatnot, and how a lot of them, they have certain insurance requirements. Some people just call the surgeon and they have their consultation with the surgeon, and then they, have the 2-week pre-op diet or the 1-day pre-op diet, whatever it is, and then they have surgery like, a month or so later. And there are other people who, have requirements to go through a program and whatnot. I don't know. But I know that for me, it's taken the 4 months for me to, I'm in the right mindset. I have been since the beginning of this, the first time forever in my life I've been so focused on something and so determined that I'm going to do this. It's the first time ever. And so, I know that this is going to happen for me, and I know that I will lose the weight and get back to that 120 or 130 pounds eventually, and hope that I can start exercising again, and things like that. So I hope you enjoyed my video. I will be doing now at this point, more. This is the first one, and I waited all this time. I keep saying I'm going to do a video, and I've shared my story with my on my other channel somewhat, but I wanted to do one that just signifies, for my weight loss journey. And so any advice or tips or anything you can give me, I will let you know. I'm waiting to hear back to find out when I'm going to, or if I'm going to be able to be scheduled for my pre-op visits before March 6th, which is when I see the cardiologist, or if I'm going to have to wait till after March 6th and then have the visits done, which is ridiculous. But what can you do? I went into the program, to the introductory meeting, and I said I was in a mobility chair because I couldn't walk. I said, I need this surgery. I have a note from my doctor. I need this surgery, and I need it done as soon as possible. I said, I have so much pain, I can't walk. And they looked at me and they said, you're not unlike anyone else in this room. In other words, you don't get any special treatment. And I thought, I don't see anyone else in a mobility chair. However, far be it for me to judge how they're feeling or what they're going through. I can't tell that. I don't know. Just because I'm sitting in a mobility chair, they're not, doesn't mean that they have any less pain than I do. Far be it for me to make judgment like that. So I wasn't and am not unlike anyone else in the room. This is why we're all here. We're all here because, you know, we want to lose weight. Maybe not want to. Well, obviously we want to, but we have to for whatever reason. And so I think being mentally ready is the biggest part of it. I just see people who say, I can't even lose 10 pounds. And I'm not denying I'm not denying that that's the truth, because I couldn't lose 10 pounds before this. If you're not mentally ready and in the right place, of course you can't lose it. You can't. It's and my daughter had said to me, she's overweight also, and she had said to me, you would think, as disgusted as I am with my body, as disgusted as I am with how I look, that I would lose the weight because I'm so disgusted. And I said, it doesn't work that way. Your brain doesn't work that way, you know. Sure, I've been disgusted with my body from tons of years, but it didn't make my head be in the right place just because I was disgusted with my body. So for me personally, it's having my head in the right place, and I do. And I get a lot of support from my family, from my friends, and my husband especially. And we eat cream of wheat or cream of rice every morning for breakfast, and it's measured out, the exact measurement, 1/4 of a cup and a cup of milk. And we bought those. They have Da Vinci and Torini. Those they're different syrups, but they're sugar free. I had seen someone on YouTube have this whole, like, on her counter, and I said, they must sell those online. Oh my gosh. So sure enough, I did find them, and we have like strawberry and brown sugar, cinnamon vanilla and vanilla bean and cherry and strawberry and chocolate and every flavor you can think of, s'mores, cookie dough, whatever. And it's all sugar free. And so we have our porridge, we call it, and that's our time. We go downstairs 7:30 in the morning, sometimes a little later, but and we make our porridge, and we eat our porridge together, and that stays with me like all day, like till like 3 o'clock in the afternoon most of the time. So anyways, but I still have to work on drinking more water. I do have a water bottle, a nice water bottle my daughters had bought me for Christmas. And so I do have to be more cognizant of that. And I had done the pre-op diet, only I wasn't straining the soups. I had done it for a week just to see what it was like. And, I feel that I'll be able to adapt to that well when I need to do that, my 2 weeks prior to surgery. So anyways, I'm going to try to do a video at least once a week to update you on what's going on, to maybe, as I'm watching some videos, share some things that I find very helpful. Actually, I will share something. I watched a video for, let's see what she's called. She's called Gastric Sleeve, which is all one word, space, the number 4, me. And I'll try to remember to put the link to her page down below. Someone told her something about essential oils, and peppermint and lemon were 2 different essential oils. So I need to ask her about those, and I need to find out about those because the peppermint is supposed to help curb your hunger. She said it's like when you brush your teeth, you know how like you get the peppermint or whatever in your toothpaste, and you don't want to eat anything after that. You know, especially orange juice because how nasty it tastes after you brush your teeth. She said it's kind of the same concept that you have that minty taste in your mouth and you really don't want to eat anything. And then the lemon, she puts like 2 squirts of lemon in 1 squirt of the peppermint or something. So I'm going to ask her where she got that because I think that's a really good idea. And again, I will share with you as I feel necessary, but it'll be minimum once a week as to my progress and what's going on. So I just want to thank you all for watching. And for those of you who are subscribing, I want to thank you for supporting and for being there with me. And it's not an easy thing, but I just, like I said, I feel like I have one leg up on the whole thing. And so we'll see how things go, but I'll be talking to you within a week or so. Bye, everyone. Thanks so much for watching, and please subscribe and like, comment, or whatever. And I'm going to continue watching more videos. They've been very helpful, and if you have any questions or anything, I don't know if I'll be able to answer them because I'm not even scheduled for surgery yet. So, but any comments, I would just enjoy maybe connecting with a few people who are newbies going through this and things like that. So, all right, everyone, have a great evening, great day, wherever you are, and I will be talking to you soon. Bye.